One of the lies you were told is that there are no blacks in America. But do you know that before pre colonization, during colonization, and after colonization, a lot of things happen. I'm going to be showing you today. Let's go into it.
You're saying black people were here in America prior to the slave ships coming here.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, talk
Yes,
to
indeed.
me.
There's a great book on that. They came before Columbus by Ivan Van Sertima. Von
Black
Wutnow.
Indians.
Yeah, Black Native Americans. But again, you had travelers coming over here.
Right.
We knew how to sail. We had
Right.
ships. They looked at some of these Native American tribes and saw that they have Hebrew languages
Right.
in some of their native tongue.
Yeah, a good book is Lost Tribes in Promised Land, where they actually spoke Hebrew, and they knew what tribe they came from
Yep.
as far as being Israelites. And just to add, most people think the transatlantic slave trade started from Africa to America, but it started from America to Spain first. Just
Right.
to back up what you're saying, they took the
Whoa.
Taino Indians first.
Right.
They took 1,100 Taino Indians as a trial run, and out of that 1,100, 300 survived. And you know what they said? That's good business. And make sure your phone's on me. They said that's good business, and that became how the transatlantic slave trade
They
started.
was losing
800.
damn.
Just remember, back
near
then it was like a year and a
77%.
half voyage or something like that to
Right.
go along that. And
Wait. You telling me the first slave trade didn't come from Africa to America. It went from America
Spain.
to Spain.
And then they circled back around. Spain, the Spanish word for black is Negro. All right. So they started using the word Negro as a pejorative. When they brought them over here, the word Negro somehow flipped into nigger. It got shortened to nigger. And again, they had to dehumanize and use these terms as pejoratives for black people. Then it became a negative thing. There is no real definition to the word nigger. All right. That's the trick bag. That's why it flips people out so much, because when you label somebody something and you can't really define it, it throws them off. The word nigger has zero definition. Nobody can explain why it's negative. They say it's an ignorant person.
There you go. That's what I hear.
Right,
Ignorant
right.
person.
But why, they're ignorant white people. How come they're not called niggas? You see? Nigger is a word that they throw at us, and when you can't define it, you put power on it. For example,
Exactly.
critical race theory. That's a powerful thing they use in politics now. There's no definition to critical race theory at all. It's whatever they say it means at the moment. So whenever they put a name or title on somebody without any definition, they can control you. This is why it's important for us to control our culture, identify who we are and what our culture is,
Right.
without letting them label us.
Which is why I broke that word nigger down to show it's even used in the Bible, but it wasn't used in a derogatory sense, to back up what he's saying. It wasn't a negative connotation as to how it is now. It's only a negative connotation now because of the stigma to whom they applying it to. So it's supposed to be the nigger is slow, the nigger's not intelligent, the nigger can't do this. But when I look at our history, 40 years removed from slavery, building the greatest civilized cities during the Great Depression. During the Great Depression in America, you got Black Wall Street, you got Seneca Village, you got Paradise in Detroit, you got all these cities that allowed to flourish. So when you say we're slow and stupid and we're unintelligent, it doesn't match up historically. HBCUs, historical black colleges, are black men and women that were able to build colleges during a time where we were supposed to be unintelligent. So we talking about the word nigga. I like how you said there's no definition of that word.
Nobody prepared me for the fact that one of the most important women in civil rights history isn't in a single textbook I grew up with, and that the movement wouldn't have moved without her. So let me tell you the part they left out. Anna Arnold Hedgeman wasn't the voice on the microphone. She wasn't the face on the posters. She wasn't marching for headlines. She was the strategist in the back room, the organizer who made movements function, the woman who turned intentions into infrastructure. And that's exactly why she gets erased. Because if people recognized how much she built, they'd have to admit how fragile the movement was without her. She was one of the first black women to hold senior roles in government, from New York City's welfare administration to national commissions, at a time when black women weren't supposed to have desks, authority, or access. But she didn't use that access to blend in. She used it to push federal and municipal systems toward racial truth that they didn't want to see. And then came the March on Washington, and the part nobody ever tells you. Everybody knows the photos, everybody knows the speeches, Everybody knows a stage full of men, but what they don't know is this. Anna Arnold Hedgeman was the only woman on the official planning committee. She coordinated outreach. She helped structure logistics. She worked the phones, the churches, the community networks, the real bones that held the march together. And halfway through planning, she realized that there wasn't a single woman on the program. Not one. A movement built on the labor of Black women, with a stage that erased them. So Anna pushed back. She wrote letters. She argued the point in planning meetings. She demanded representation, knowing full well that challenging male leadership could cost her everything. Some concessions were made, not enough. But without her, there wouldn't have been any voice for Black women at all. Even on the day of the march, she was pushed into the background. But the march still stood. It still ran. It still reached the world because of the structure that she helped build. And here's the part that hits the hardest. Every movement she touched, education, labor, civil rights, welfare reform, she strengthened it. Every organization she joined, church networks, women's groups, government committees, civil rights coalitions, she elevated it. And because she wasn't loud or flashy or chasing leadership titles, America pretended that she wasn't essential. That's not coincidence. That's racism and patriarchy doing what they always do. Erase the Black woman that kept everything from falling apart. Anna Arnold Hedgeman, the strategist who made federal agencies face the discrimination that they denied. The organizer who fought for Black women's voices inside a movement who benefited from their labor without acknowledging their leadership. The woman who held systems accountable long before America admitted that the systems were broken. She was the quiet power behind one of the loudest movements in American history. So we say her name with intention. We say it with respect. We say it because she built the blueprint for modern Black organizing, and this country was never going to tell you that part on its own. Say her name. Anna Arnold Hedgeman.
The new mayor of New York gets up and tells the world that immigrants built New York. I got nothing against immigrants at all, but I do have something against people who erase historical facts. Just to be clear, enslaved Black people built New York and every other state in America. There's like receipts, literal receipts, with the amount of enslaved persons it took to build each city or building. The White House. Yeah, the disrespect, I'm over it. I'm done with it. I love you, Black man. I love you, Black woman. Knowledge is power. Power to the people.
So it wasn't just Tulsa. Tulsa is just one of many cities, and I'm going to give you a list in this video, that was destroyed, whether it be bombed, set on fire, flooded out, because white people were afraid of Black progression. Rosewood, Florida is one. Rosewood was demolished because a white woman claimed to have been raped by a Black man, which is a common occurrence that you'll notice throughout Black history, but most times it's false. 5 Points District in Lower Manhattan. Speaking of New York, Seneca Village, Oscarville, small neighborhoods in southeast and southwest Atlanta. Portsmouth, Ohio in 1831, they expelled all of their Black citizens. Salina, Tennessee. Comanche County, Texas. Lexington and Blackwell, Oklahoma. While I'm on the topic of Oklahoma, Oklahoma had some 50 Black towns. Black Wall Street was not just Tulsa, it was all over Oklahoma. Quick little reminder for anybody new here, I teach Black history. Go ahead and give me a follow. Also, I have a nonprofit dedicated to keeping Black history in our schools because it is under attack. They're trying to get it out of our schools and change the course of what we know to be Black history today for future generations. My nonprofit is going to be employing students from the local HBCU here in Atlanta. It's based in Atlanta, but I plan on doing this everywhere. But we're going to be employing local HBCU students to teach an after-school program called the Black History Project. If you want to help me, what I need is donations. I can do everything from there. What I'm doing right now is out of my pockets, and the little bit of donations that I do get, I really do appreciate, but I could use more. In the meantime, yeah, give me a follow. I teach Black history. Subscribe to my YouTube and all that good stuff. Just tap the link in my bio. All of it is in the link in my bio. But let's get back into it. Monet, Missouri, and Linton, Louisiana. This was a series, I call it an era, of just violence against Black people between 1894 and 1896. We all know Oscarville, which is now known as Lake Lanier, but Forsyth County in general had a lot of black thriving communities that was unfortunately ruined by racist white people. Ocoee, Florida, Corbin, Kentucky, Blandford, Indiana was another one, and that was actually a KKK-led expulsion of all black people. In 1954, Vienna, Illinois, that was when all the white residents burned all the black residents' homes and businesses. Mind you, I'm saying 1954. Now, of course, I'm not mentioning all of them. I'm mentioning a lot of them that I want you to look into because we only really hear about Tulsa. And there were so many different other Tulsas, even around Tulsa. I told you there was 50 black cities, black communities, thriving communities around Tulsa that we don't even know about. And then so many all over the country, right, over the course of time. And the massacres and the expulsions that I just mentioned, it ranged from the early 1800s into, like I said, the 1960s, 1950s. So yeah, I just want everybody to know that it wasn't like we got our freedom and we didn't do anything about it. We got our freedom and we used the hell out of it. We created our own establishment. We had our own cities. We had our own communities. We were doing perfectly fine without others. And as soon as others came in, it wasn't in a sense of trying to help. It was, we gotta ruin this because you guys are doing way too good and this was not our intentions.
Welcome to my channel. I want to give you a history today that is not popular anywhere. And this that you're seeing on the screen is exactly what happened. The question was asked, are black Americans native to America? Indigenous black presence. That is pre-colonial because they were indigenous black in America. That's why you hear a lot of Americans today, they say foundational black Americans. Those are the indigenous black. Then you have 18th and 19th century when blacks from America, of course, those are actually the people that were taken forcefully from West Africa, just name it, where you have the tribe of Judah. They were forcefully taken from that region and they were brought to America. And between 19th and 20th century, there's what we call reclassification of indigenous black America. They merged those Africans that were brought from Africa, merged them with indigenous black Americans that were in America, that actually built America. So to make it look like everybody is black, so they are all from Africa, but it's a lie. There's what we call indigenous black Africa that were actually the foundational black Americans. And do you also know that blacks were actually on every corner of the earth? The first people that populated anywhere are the black people. And this is the truth that was hidden. Know this, that a lot of black folks did great things. Let me say it again. Great things. The people that built America are actually black folks, but they don't want you to know this. But this is the truth. And that is what I'm bringing today. Know this and know peace, that blacks were the ones that built America. Blacks were the ones that were everywhere, all over the surface of the earth before whites began coming. And they came in the 16th centuries. That's the first time white was mentioned. Guys, what do you think about this? I want you to comment your view, your perception. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.